everybody, and welcome back to another video. And if you're here for the very first time, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Jane. My husband Mike is behind the camera. We are British, early retirees. We've got no debt. We've paid off the mortgage and we live a thrifty, frugal and money-saving life here in Brittany in northwest France. And every Wednesday we invite you in for a midweek money chat. Now, the beginning of every month we usually share with you our budget, our money that we are actually going to have and spend for the upcoming month. This month we're going to do something slightly different. So we're going to share with you how we have a frugal reset at the beginning of every month, because a budget is something you just write down, but it's beyond that we make it work. So it's those frugal habits and practices that we put in place throughout the month, and how we prepare for those and plan for those in a very organised and meaningful way at the beginning of the month. We hope that you really enjoy this video, and if you do, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button. If anything resonates with you or you have a question to ask, don't forget to leave a comment, because we read every single one of them. We have one thing to ask you. We know that most of you watching are subscribers, but know some of you watching are not subscribers. So go on, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Let's enjoy the video together. Let's start with frugal money habits. At the end of each month, we take time to assess last month's budget of spending. If there were any budget areas which we were under budget, maybe not for the first time, but maybe under budget again, then we will reduce them. We will check all of our set direct debits, from insurances to energy costs, and if there has been any adjustments to be made, any increases or decreases, and then we will also adjust that in our budget book. We will then check our government and private healthcare insurance. When we go to the doctor, we have a medical appointment, we pay an amount of money when we go in, and then our insurance company or our government insurance or a combination of the both pay us back. We then take that money from our account and move it back into our savings account for the next time we need it. We then have all of our receipts on our bank account, and what we do with those receipts is it will say, for example, just Amazon, but we will detail those. So we can go into our online bank account, we can literally right click on that amount and we will detail what that was. So it might be parts for the lawnmower, we may have bought something for my sewing machine, or we may have bought something, but we write in detail exactly what it was. As frugal people and intentional with our spending and with our budget, it's important to us that we fill up our calendar with important and most importantly the costs attached to that. So let's start off with medical. We have 2 blood tests with appointments to remember. There's no cost with those blood tests, but the 2 follow-up doctor's visits that we will have will cost us €26.50 each. So we need to factor that into our budget. We're going to a vide grenier at the end of the month, so we'll need to factor in the amount that we will allow ourselves to spend within our discretionary spending. That needs to go on the calendar. We have pet care. Our dogs will be groomed in this month, so we know to move money from our sinking funds account to our main account to pay for that. In the same month, we've got 2 birthdays to pay for, and the same again. The money needs moving from our sinking funds into our main account. And finally, we've got home care this month, and we've got to have our chimney swept. So again, the money needs moving from our savings account to our main account to pay for that. And having a good calendar and getting organised at the beginning of the month means these things don't just pop up. We're prepared and we're ready for them. I'm going to share with you our payday routines that we go through each month before we even write our budget. To start off with, we have a variable income. Each month our income is slightly different, so that needs writing into our budget book. We have our pension variations to start with. Our pensions fluctuate slightly each month due to the exchange rate from pound sterling to the euro. Then we have our income from YouTube, and this is the biggest variable. And then we're paid on 3 separate days. We're paid on the 15th, we're paid on the 22nd, and usually on the last day of the month, but sometimes that rolls over to the 1st or even 2nd of the next month. When we have this total, then we can start to write our budget. Once we've received all the monies into our account, we take 22% of our earned YouTube income and pay that to URSSAF for our social security payment. We then have our actual total of money with when all the money has been deducted. We then move 10% to 20% into long-term savings. Smaller amount if the income is considerably less. On a very good month, it can be as much as 30% into long-term savings. We move car savings of €200 to the long-term savings account. We move €686 to the short-term savings account, which we call sinking funds. We then check the total figure for living costs that month, which is on average around €1,000 a month. We then have an amount of money left. We allocate discretionary spending, if there is any, and we plan with that what it will be spent on, if it is spent at all. We don't shop weekly, we usually shop around twice a month. So we plan our supermarket shopping days. We have the apps of all the supermarkets that we use on my phone, and we check to see when the sales are and plan our shopping trips around those days. We usually shop twice a month, but that can be split if different stores have good sales on different days. I've checked the next 2 weeks, but there's nothing good on, enough for us to shop up on, so we'll wait and see what comes up, maybe the few weeks after that. We have around 150 to 250 discretionary spending of any months that we have a spend month. On a no spend month, we don't allocate any discretionary spending. But these are the type of things that we do spend our discretionary spending on, and we plan it at the beginning of each month. For example, garden costs if we need to buy more composts. Home costs, is there anything in the house that we need to get? For example, fuel, we plan that in as well, although gas bottles, car fuels and garden machinery do have their own line in the budget. But things like social trips, a trip to a vide grenier. We're going to a vide grenier at the end of the month, and we've already decided that we're going to allocate €50 to that spend. However, this is a low spend supermarket month. There really isn't a lot that I need. I don't need any meat, I don't need any cleaning products, I don't need laundry products. So I will have spare money from my supermarket budget, and I might hold some of that back to take to the vide grenier. The vide grenier is a really great thing that we go to, and we often buy garden plants from that, and it's usually much cheaper than we can ever buy it anywhere else, and it's worth holding a bit of money back. As part of our frugal reset of planning our month ahead of us, we have home routines and things that we need to do around our house and around our property that we actively plan for, and also if any of those have any cost implications. So we've set ourselves some targets for this month: to finish weeding the drive, to finish strimming, I think some of you might call that weed whacking, all around the garden, to finish moving wood. We have logs to split this month. We have a log splitting shed that needs a really good clean out and tidy. We need to give the grass another cut, and we've got some more hedge shrubs to get in and get planted. And the great thing about setting ourselves these targets and keeping ourselves busy is whilst we're doing these things, we're not out spending any money. A really important part for us as a frugal reset of getting ourselves sorted for the month ahead are our food and home cooking routines. And that starts off first of all with a really good stock check. And of course that's food, but it also includes for us anything else that we might buy from the supermarket. So whether that's cleaning products, laundry products, or toiletries, or any paper products like bathroom tissue. So we'll do a really good thorough stock check of that. But from our monthly stock check, we'll do a really good food inventory. So I know exactly what I've got in my freezers and I've got in my cupboards, any long life food that's there. And I will start making a meal plan, prioritizing everything that needs using first. I know, for example, the chicken in my freezer has been in there longer than the fish that I've bought. So that's a prioritizing factor of what I'm going to use up first. So the part of that at the beginning of that month is to create a meal plan to use what we have. And I'll do that for at least 2 weeks, if not longer. It's not unusual for me to put together a whole meal plan, a very rough meal plan, not a detailed plan, but a rough meal plan together for the entire month to use up what we've got first. Only then, when I've done that meal plan, when I've got that food inventory, when I know exactly what I've got in all my freezers and all my cupboards, then I will start making a shopping list for my next trip. And that will, of course, coincide with the fact that I'll have checked the weekly sales. I will see what is on offer, what fruit and veg is on offer, at which store, which meat is on offer and at which store. Just as an example of how I prioritise the food that we need from the beginning of the month of that frugal reset. Thank you so much for watching, and now I'm going to hand this over to you. Share with everybody your frugal routines for the month. What do you set up at the beginning of the month? When do you write your budget? When do you organise your spending or your shopping or the things that you're going to do in the month so you do them in a meaningful and frugal way? We love to hear from you. We read every comment, and we know the viewers love to read the comments as well. We'll see you soon, and bye for now.